Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Aftermath. My name is Ian, and I am joined with Dylan. Joined by Dylan, yes.
We have become Siamese twins.
I am Dylan, and he is I.
It's a very uncomfortable existence now.
Yeah, it's fine. So this week we watched...
A good-ass movie.
Dude. We watched 1917, and this is the first time...
It's a good year.
It's the first time... It's a good year. Was that sarcasm? Hopefully.
As a whole, yeah, sure. It was a pretty shitty year, all things considered, but, I mean, I don't know. It was pretty neat.
Yeah, this is my first time watching this movie, and boy, oh boy, is this another great, war film.
It's good.
What was the last one? Saving Private Ryan was the other one we watched recently, that I was like, it's not that I don't like war movies, it's just that I've never, made it a point to go see them, I guess, or just, I don't really think about it.
Well, this was one not to miss, for sure.
Yep, definitely. That was spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, everyone always talks about the fact that it's, shot continuously.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there were, two instances that I think I found cuts. They sneakily hid it in there, just as a little. I think that the big thing everyone keeps talking about, I think, is the first 9 minutes of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think are unbroken, or 9 or 10 minutes. I think there's probably other little sneaky cuts in there they get away with to make it feel more seamless than it actually
sure as
is.
hell looks like it.
Oh, and they did a great job. The only reason why I think I caught onto two of them was because I was looking for it. Because I was being a little critical just to find out where those little bitty sections are that I think that I was I could,
Right.
If I was to make a movie feel as seamless as this one does, where would I try and sneak in little cuts to help?
Right.
To help the whole production. But man, this movie, I was nervous that the pacing was going to be strange or a little awkward. There was only a few times where it felt kind of slow.
Mm-hmm.
But at no point did I feel like it was that it didn't what's the word I'm trying to look for here?
I mean, it wasn't too slow.
No. Is it it took its time in the moments that it needed to.
Plodding and methodical.
Right. But it also made it feel like you were actually there.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's always something going on.
Right.
And then even whenever things around you are slowing down and are still, there's always this perpetual we have to keep moving kind of thing is what it feels like, which is great because that's kind of the whole premise of the movie is we don't have time to stop.
No dilly-dallying now.
Right. But dude, it blew my mind.
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
To this day, it's one of the most impressive pieces of film I think I've ever seen.
Right.
I don't know. It may just be that era of time, pre and during World War I, is easily my favorite. But it's just a good fucking movie.
Yeah, they did the job of making a movie like that, and a lofty goal of making it feel continuous or actually continuous. They did a great job executing it. And I was just very impressed with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you think your favorite part was?
Oh, man. I really don't know. Like I said, it just feels like one big experience.
Yeah.
It's there's no... In a traditional movie, I feel like you can, pick out certain scenes. And specifically, you can tell when, a cut's about to happen or something like that. And this was definitely a change of pace from all that. Just right at the get-go, they're they're just like trudging through these trenches, like right in the first few shots of the movie. And it just makes it feel so refreshing almost, because you're like, man, I'm keeping up, but at the same time, it's like there's at no point was it like I can't think of how to put it into words. Yeah. It's so impressive. It's like at no point did like I think I got comfortable in like watching what I felt like would be a normal movie, where I thought like, okay, now it's time to cut to this part, or now it's time to move on to this section, or
this shit's a ride.
Yeah, and you're just like strapped in for it, like, and it just keeps moving, and it just keeps on moving, and you're like, oh man, this is impressive. And also, I have no idea how certain aspects of it work.
Yeah,
like how the first time he got hit with the barbed wire, how the blood happens, and how does that continuously happen in the aspect of like we're continuously shooting. So how do you then get more blood makeup on his hand without having someone there to like apply that sort of thing? And it's like all those little intricacies that I'm like trying to like logically work my way through. Like one thing that was so interesting, and if you don't mind me jumping to this part, I thought that the little brother character was going to be the main character, because in all of the promotional stuff he is, and through all of the stuff that's going on, that seems to be like the guy, because the whole premise of the movie is like, your brother is in danger, take this letter and go.
They set it up to be a bit of a buddy cop scenario,
right? And before you know it, accidents happen, just like what would feel like real life in this scenario. And our favorite little brother character gets stabbed, and he's not doing good. And it's like
by a German pilot that they saved from burning to death.
And I was like, of course that would happen. It's like, it just was like, But what I thought was crazy was like how that interaction happened. It's just hard to put into words. What it feels so real. And in this moment, when there's no cuts, there's no dramatic pans or like secondary cameras or anything, it makes you feel like you are a bystander watching this event happen, and he just got stabbed and he's not doing okay. And you're like, oh man. And then of course they are so far from
any help.
And you're like, I know how this works. He's not gonna make it. But there's always this like hope inside you that something is gonna happen.
It might be okay. Someone might show up at the last second.
Something might happen. Something may help. And it's just, it's real life. He ends up not making it.
You just gotta sit there and watch your buddy die.
But the crazy part that I was having an issue, like I wouldn't say issue, but having like, my mind was wrapping around is that as he's losing blood and he's panicking and all that kind of stuff, his face specifically is getting more more pale, more flush, or is flush?
Flush is red.
That's okay. So he's getting pale. He's like not doing okay, but it's like without cutting cameras, like cutting away from him and applying more makeup or something. It's like, how does something like that happen where he's like, besides the fact of actually stabbing this man and having him actually lose blood, it's like that's the part for me that felt crazy, was the fact like as he's like basically dying, you're like watching the color leave his face.
And I'm like, starts looking like a dead man.
And I'm like, how? Like, what is going on here?
They actually killed him. And he's really dead.
But it further solidified like that, this real sensation. It's like, man, it was crazy. And then
it was a good scene.
Oh yeah, it was very impactful and very hard to watch almost too, because if it like I said a few minutes ago, it didn't pull its punches with like.
Oh yeah, that shit was a right hook out of nowhere.
But what I was meaning was with timing, was like there's no like, oh, sad music now, and then we cut on to the next scene. It's like well, now what? and then
there's music, like, there's a track already playing as he's dying, and as soon as he's, like, dead, it just stops.
Yes.
And there's no music.
Which is also another really gut-wrenching moment. Mm-hmm. But I'm just meaning, like, in the traditional aspect of, like, and then we slow fade to something else or whatever, or meanwhile,
or cut to after he's buried.
Right, yes. Meanwhile, back at the base camp or something like that, it's like, oh, man.
Nah.
You just kind of sit there for a minute.
You get to stay.
And then, like, but that's what makes it even a little bit, I don't want to say uncomfortable. I guess it is kind of uncomfortable.
Right.
But to see this guy being like, and then, of course, it's also, like, kind of gut-wrenching, too, is he's, like, just as he's, like, crying and he's, like, really trying to hold on to his friend, he's worried. Yeah. He's like, please tell me you know where you're going. Please tell me you know what you're doing.
Talk to me.
Talk to me, please. And as he's, like, telling him all these things or whatever.
Going through the whole roadmap.
Going through the whole thing. And he's like, I'll find a guy who looks just like you but older, just like you told me to do. I'll find your brother. Don't worry, I got it. And, like, as he had said that, he just kind of, like, relaxes a bit and then is gone. And you're like, oh, damn, dude. Like, it just hits. But with all that, the tension of, like, the fact that you're behind enemy lines and there's just potential gunfire everywhere and there's just this whole, it gave me that almost adrenaline rush feeling of, like, there's these moments where it's like, so far at that moment we have gotten basically halfway through the movie or so, and it's like, I know how this movie is playing out so far. It can happen at any moment, right? Because it's like there's no surprise or no camera movements or different things. It's like what you see, what you get. So it's like if something's gonna happen, it's gonna happen out of nowhere. So, like, and all these little moments of, like, there's all these little moments of, like, surprise, and, like, something explodes or there's a gunshot and you're like, oh my god, like.
I really like the scene in the underground barracks.
Oh, dude,
with that fucking rat.
It felt like such a real world happenstance of, like, there's this tripwire that is in this underground, like, barracks type thing,
right?
And as if it's not scary enough, we're like, where our main character guy is like, don't move. There could be other traps we don't see or whatever. We just found this one. And then as they're saying that, a rat, like, drops something and then hits the ground, and it's already kind of one of those, like, kind of like jump scare moments.
Goes like, oh no! And as soon as it, like, starts to move towards the tripwire, and of course it sets it off.
Yeah, then the rat panics and runs over it.
Blows the shit out of that corner of the room, starting a chain reaction, taking out the whole fucking barracks.
Oh my god, dude! It just feels so wild, like. And then, of course, as you'd imagine, our character gets buried and he's getting pulled out. He has dirt in his eyes. He has dirt in his freaking lungs and mouth. At that point, he's like, I can't see.
Right.
And he's like, oh man, it just feels so. I don't know. It's like. It's wild.
Yeah.
It's just really incredible. And then also with that, again, I really want to know where it was shot.
Yeah.
Like, I think I can look it up and I can find out.
Let's get some info on that, why don't we?
I can find out. But, like, it does a great job of the setting of, like,
just a war-torn landscape.
Yeah, but it's like, but it also feels like the real trenches. It feels like the real debris. It feels like, if I didn't know any better, an actual war is being fought here, which is the most impressive part.
I hadn't seen a depiction of, like, at least a good one, as far as I know, of, like, no man's land. Like, just the space between two front lines that is just the fields of death.
Right.
But I think this movie pulled it off, like, flawlessly.
Oh, yeah.
It's exactly what I would have expected it to look like.
Yeah. Apparently it was shot in, this is what's crazy.
Yeah.
12 main locations.
Whew.
12, like, different locations.
Yeah.
Including.
But not limited to.
The airfield at Hertfordshire, plus major locations as Wiltshire, Salisbury Plain, Oxfordshire Quarry, Durham County River. It's just like it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Glasgow, I think there's a place like yeah. So it's like I think there's more cuts in this movie than I think I realized, and that's impressive.
Yeah, that is really cool.
That is awesome. So, anyways, but again, with that, with the obviously the, I feel, I would feel wrong to say costumes or like the wardrobe. Because again, that looks like the real thing.
Yeah, straight up like uniform standard.
Right. Yeah. That is the soldiers like actual. Mm-hmm. It felt like period accurate attire for someone in the military.
Shit ton of pouches.
Oh, dude,
big ass backpack,
bandoliers, leather vests of some kind. Yeah, it's like all kinds of shit, dude. It's awesome. Another thing is that I knew they did this once upon a time. Was they used to have boots that were about yay high, and then they would have cloth bindings all the way up their knee as like a protection thing or whatever. And they actually had that on their legs. Whatever. I was like, that's so impressive. There's so much little intricate stuff that's going on.
It's a very visually pleasing movie.
Yes. And then, again, with all that...
As you would hope it would be, considering you using your eyes throughout the whole fucking thing.
Of course.
And man, it is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, it warrants more than a second watch through, I'd say.
Oh, 100%. I can't wait to be able to watch this movie again.
Oh, yeah.
Because, man, that's crazy.
It was good.
Yeah. Another thing I think that also sells on the, like, continual timeline thing is the way the wardrobe is portrayed as it's moving along.
Yeah.
There's like moments where they're in mud and water and everything is all like dirtied up or tattered and stuff. And again, which I think is crazy too, as the movie's progressing, our main character guy is like slowly but surely losing stuff along the way. And it just goes to show like he gets to his destination and he's got like just his like pants and coat, and he's got nothing else.
We should explain the premise a bit, shouldn't we? I don't think we touched on that.
I guess you're right. For those of you who have no idea about this movie, do you want to go ahead and? I think you may have a better understanding of what.
Right. I believe the starting date, as it says at the beginning, was like April 6th, wasn't it?
I believe so.
With, of course, the year being 1917. It starts off with two soldiers chilling out near one of the lines. Like, one of them's leaned up on a tree, other's just like laying down with his helmet over his face. Other dude, I'm thinking one of their superiors, just comes out of nowhere, tells them to get up and grab their gear.
It's showtime.
Right. They are brought into this like command post where the fucking general is telling them to deliver a message to the front line, letting them know that the Germans are making a strategic retreat, hoping that we'll charge in and they'll be able to just gun them all down with like superior defenses and a shit ton of artillery.
Right.
So of course, with 2 battalions being on the line, they're like, man, we better do something about that.
Nearly 1,600 guys.
Yeah. So they task these 2 poor men to deliver this message.
But they also they use what's the phrase I'm looking for? They try to appeal to their humanity a little bit. Yeah. It's like is it the general? Is that who it is?
Yeah.
The general is like, you got a brother out there, right? And he's like, yes, sir, I do. And he's like,
yeah.
And it's like, so he tries to like,
you've got no choice but to go out there now.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Well, and also, yes, obviously it's an order, but it's also like to help light a fire in his soul.
Yeah.
Be like,
just get a bit of extra incentive in there for you.
Of course. Like not only is it probably in all of our best interests for this to get to them, but to specifically make sure that you get this, your brother's on the line as well. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh man, here we go.
Yeah.
I didn't know that they had some like big name actors in here. Like I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that Benedict Cumberbatch was in this movie as the colonel.
Short role.
Oh yeah, that one, and also where's Lieutenant Blake? Oh yeah, Richard Madden, the the older brother character, Lieutenant Blake. Richard Madden actually plays in Game of Thrones as Robb Stark.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I saw him and I was like, wow.
I recognize him.
Exactly. I think he had like some shaved up or something.
Yeah.
But man, that was intense, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't. Once he turned around, I was like, Benedict Cumberbatch. I was like, what are you doing here?
What the fuck?
Oh, man. And he has, what a voice on that guy.
Yeah. Gotta respect the cucumber.
Right. Man. He's like, go ahead and make sure to see someone dresses your wounds.
Yeah.
It's like, go on, frick off.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Fuck off.
That's perfect.
It's the best.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite part in the movie?
The trench run.
The trench run. Oh,
the final stretch.
Oh, I mean that's the
highlight of the movie.
Yeah, I don't want to call it like the cliche
among the
scene.
many highlights.
Right. I remember seeing that also in the trailer as well.
Mm-hmm. That was like the end point of all the trailers whenever the movie was being advertised.
Right.
It was really cool because during that scene, like at the end of the trailer, the date, like the year would fade in.
Right.
Like over the scene happening. And it looked really cool.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It also was another situation that felt very real because there's two separate times where our main character is just booking it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's obviously the trench run he's talking about. It's the first wave of men coming out the trench, running at a horizontal to the camera,
right.
And our main character is running towards the camera.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously in the what's it called, the perpendicular motion
right.
of all the traffic.
He tends to intersect with a couple of folks.
There's two separate times where it just so happens he collides, and I mean like it feels real because they just like
they were
wham.
real.
Oh, I know
were accidents.
I know, and I believe it because it was sold very well with how the camera just keeps on rolling.
They just ran with it.
And our guy's just like, wham! Oh, he just like, oh man. There's a couple of the characters get up off the ground like, oh shit,
mm-hmm.
I'm all rattled.
The first guy he runs into doesn't get up. I'm assuming like he wasn't paying attention and he's just like, oh shit, I'm fucking dead, aren't I?
Oh man.
That probably just fucking killed me, whatever it was.
Yeah, either that or it's also like at that point, as an actor, you'd be like, do I get up? Do I just stay here? Like, I don't know. I'm just going to lay down here and just pretend like I'm knocked out. Or he actually did get knocked out.
Yeah.
Poor guy. He's like, oh, damn. Wakes up later and goes, did you guys let y'all cut? I can't tell. Where am I? But yeah. But that's also a pleasing one as well because, again, we've gone from this, like, war-torn area of, like, it is all shades of black and brown. Mm-hmm. Everything from stone to wood to dirt, mud, just everything is
light overcast of the sky.
Yes, everything is just dirty.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go on like later on in this movie where like everything is like cleaned and prepped for battle. We're like getting ready to go.
Oh yeah.
So you have like this beautiful green grass over these like white stone trenches or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like white pebble trenches, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's made out of. And like you said in that scene where they're just like running across this like beautiful landscape and there's like shit blowing up everywhere. You're like, oh my God, dude. It's so beautiful and also tragic all at the same time.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. Do you have a character that you're fond of?
I liked the bunch of clowns that
oh man,
William ran into after Blake had died.
Right. Which you want to talk about like a coincidence, and also it makes me think: did time pass a little bit more without us knowing? Like there's moments like that where it's like, was he sitting there longer than we were expecting, and then people then showed up? It wasn't just like a coincidence after he drew his last breath. It was like, oh hey, we're all here now. The whole caravan.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, because it's also
no, because the two soldiers that came up to him said they saw the smoke from the plane crash.
Right.
So I figure it was recent enough that they had seen it and got themselves over there.
And it's also the part where he's underground, like when he's like staying safe. It's like I feel like time all of a sudden kind of happens faster than I was expecting. But that's again, that's all just like a circumstantial thing. But anyways, as you were saying, all the goons in the back of the van.
Right, dude, like the fucking them making fun of the asshole like piece of shit general or whatever the fuck he is.
Oh my god.
In that car lecturing his troops to how to move a fucking tree.
Just move it. It's like
not doing anything himself.
You get out of here and move this damn tree. And it's not just like a stump or like
it's a grown ass tree.
It is a whole tree across
that they chopped down and moved in front of the road.
It's like, dude, it is taking all of like, what was that, 20, 25 guys, giving it all they got to move this tree. And he's like, just move out the way.
Barking at him.
It's like, oh my God, dude.
Ugh.
That's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I liked how they seemed like initially cold to him. Like, oh, he's just some fucking dude we picked up.
Yeah, some straggler.
But once they see like how worried and panicked he's getting about
his desperation,
getting to where he needs to be, they chip in a good bit and help him move the truck that got stuck.
Yeah. And not only that, is also just stone cold expression.
Espresso.
His stone cold expression whenever he's just like, not only, obviously, he just witnessed his friend die, and now he's trying to figure out how to do this alone.
Mm-hmm.
But all these guys are kind of joking around, and our camera is just like, is obviously, like for most of the movie, makes you feel like you're just like an observer in this area, like just another one of the guys in the van.
Mm.
But they're like cracking jokes and kind of doing what they normally do, and obviously, like our guy is just
getting a little impatient, checking his watch,
and not only that, but also just like
coming to grips with the recent events.
Yes, lifeless behind the eyes almost. He's just sitting there, and I think that also helps like better payoff when he's like, "Dude, guys, I have to go," and they're like, "I mean, all right. Yeah, he seems he seems legit." But yeah.
Yeah.
And the first time you saw this, the first time you saw this was with Chase?
Yes, we went and saw it in the theater.
Oh, I bet that was beautiful.
The best.
Right.
It was so much better in the theater.
Oh, I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I remember seeing the trailers for it. I remember being interested in it. And then I remember hearing the fact that it was shot like pretty continuously.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really interesting. I'll get around to watching it. And
we did.
Now's the time.
I just wish there was more stuff that focused on World War I, or at least the time before it.
Right.
I remember I saw this little docuseries that I found on YouTube by happenstance.
Yeah.
That went into the nitty-gritty of like the political ties and like relationships between countries before it broke out.
Really?
It was really cool. Like some of the main leaders of like countries you'd expect to have no relation were related.
Really?
Like a familial relation.
Wait, what?
Was the leader of another country.
Wow.
And it was really cool.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing to think about as well is also like you forget, or at least I do, I forget just how long ago that is.
Mm-hmm.
Like 1917. My great-grandmother was born in 1920.
Phew.
Which is like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because she passed away, I want to say just about 10 years ago.
Damn.
And it's like, well, what?
Yeah, that's nuts.
Exactly. And it's like, to think about these guys being most likely anywhere between like 17 to 20 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
These young guys just fighting for the country. It's like, dude.
It just makes me want to talk to an old person.
Right. I don't think anybody that
oh, no, there are no World War I vets left.
I didn't think so.
We're running real low on World War II vets now, too.
That's crazy.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
that really sucks to think about.
Right. Man, passage of time is scary.
Yeah.
But dude, the thing to think about is like, it's also crazy that like it is the 2020s now.
Mm-hmm.
So to think about the fact that 1920 is 100 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, wow. The fact that like so much has happened in 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
from not only just technology, but like everything in between.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy to think about. Even things have changed so much since like the mid to late 90s.
Right.
To right now. And that's been basically 20 years.
It's crazy.
Or 25 years now. And that's like, to look at these guys using a compass and signal flares and using letters to communicate with each other, having black and white Polaroid photos. It's like, that is so, I don't know, it's so cool. Yeah. And it's just crazy that like.
I like old things.
Right. Everything is a little too convenient now, I think.
Yeah. It's still cool.
Right, yeah.
But there's just something about, like, I had experiences writing letters to Dakota whenever he was
right in Germany
in basic.
Or no, he wasn't in Germany yet.
Right, this was during like his training period.
I see.
Because he couldn't have his phone. I mean, he could have it. He just he just couldn't have it.
Interesting.
But it was cool. It was something interesting to look forward to, like every few weeks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I think I still have them tucked away in a drawer somewhere.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's a really cool.
That's so cool, dude. Oh, man. Yeah, but, like, also just the fact that, like, I love that there's some convenient things, that things in life are easier to get a hold of or more abundant, but, man, I don't know. It's cool to think about, you know. I don't know. It was a lot harder time, so I don't want to.
It makes you appreciate the now and
right
how much more convenient everything is.
Right, and also
like these motherfuckers aren't kidding when they say we've got it easy.
Oh, 100%.
Like
even the fact like I was born in the mid '90s, and the fact that like even kids nowadays, I'm like, man, even you have it easy. Right. I feel like the old geezer now. And I'm like, I'm not even 30.
It's nuts.
Yeah, so it's like that's the crazy part is like, dude, things are happening so rapidly. It's like it's just crazy to think about.
It doesn't feel like it.
Right.
You'll miss it if you fucking blink, it feels like.
Right. But it's also just crazy like to think. I think my parents were born like the 60s, right before the 70s, I think. And it's crazy to think that like my dad, for instance, or my mom, like they have experienced technology in a different way than I have.
Yeah.
Watching the world change day by day, it feels like. That's crazy.
We're going to go through that.
Oh, yeah.
Just hasn't hit us yet.
Yeah. We're going to have fully liquefied food and
oh god,
cryogenic stasis chambers, and we're going to have android bodies. We're going to put our...
Mecha, please have Mecha.
Yeah, please have Mecha. I just want a Gundam, damn it.
Please.
Oh, man. Dude. The future's exciting and scary.
See, I've talked about this subject before, but if ever given the chance, I would want to have my consciousness transferred into an artificial body.
Right.
Now, I know that technology will have not progressed far enough to even consider like a fully like immortal artificial body.
Right.
Like things going to require maintenance and shit like that.
Yeah.
But with the whole passage of time experience that we were talking about, I feel like the draw from that will have like diminished if I go with that option.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, it would still be really fucking cool.
Yeah. I just can't wait for the moment when I'm having a conversation with Dylan and he just like shuts down and is like he just shuts down and is like regular update maintenance required.
Oh my god.
I'm like, oh damn it. I was in the middle of talking to him.
Firmware.
Right. Cancel. Dylan, cancel. Oh shit, I missed it.
Save it for later. Schedule it for tonight.
Right. Time remaining 30 minutes.
Shit.
I need his help now.
Yeah. We were in the middle of a fucking restaurant. Yeah. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Gosh. I guess I'll pick up the check. I love it.
Ugh.
That's great. We were playing video games, Dylan. What the heck?
We fucking lost because of you.
You just bailed out on me, man. That's great.
That's such a weird thing to think about.
I know. I'm
like, who in their right mind would design it that way?
Yeah. I mean, who knows? We laugh now, but iteration number 1 is...
I swear, if they make it work that way, I'm going to fucking shoot whoever did it.
Yeah.
That's so dumb.
It may work like a Tesla.
It'd be really funny, but that's so fucking stupid.
Don't they do that with Tesla or something?
I have no idea.
I want to say they update in real time or something like that. It's one of those, like...
Probably.
Or after you park it or something. I forget. I don't own a Tesla.
That makes sense. Not during hours of operation. That makes sense.
Right. Yeah. We're in sleep mode.
Like, you've got a time limit on this update. Are you at a restaurant and or sports event? Too bad.
Yeah, too bad.
You're going to get to see what an empty stadium looks like.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, it's like getting blackout drunk and just passing out somewhere. It
feels
like. Like, where the fuck am I?
It's nothing like waking up going, what? What happened?
Everything looks slightly clearer, but I'm still in the same spot.
Yes. I'm in the new version, but man, I don't... Where'd all my friends go? Has anything been happening this week that you talk about? Or I think it's been a pretty chill week.
It's been a light week, yeah. I've had way more free time on my hands that I've done nothing with.
Nice.
So, you know.
Gotta love that.
Right.
Man.
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy. Oh, you know what's coming up, though?
What?
This weekend.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. We've got an entire weekend planned out to head to the last MechaCon down in New Orleans.
Oh, I'm so excited.
It's going to be so cool, I think.
Yeah. I wish
I've had a pretty consistent good time from like the past 2 times I've been.
Nice.
And I got a good feeling about this one.
Right.
Yeah.
We're going to go out with a bang. Mm-hmm. I'm going to blow some money.
Oh, yes. They got fucking Steve Bloom there.
Oh,
that's a big one.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
The Big O.
Showtime. Bitch.
Who else does he play that I know of?
He was Spike Spiegel.
Spike Spiegel, obviously.
Tom from Toonami.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude, he's the fucking host.
What a big name right there.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe I forgot about that.
He was fucking Mugen from Samurai Champloo.
Really?
Which is another one we need to watch.
I have only seen probably bits and pieces of that show.
Oh, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
He was fucking...
He's been all kinds of stuff.
He's done so much.
The big one I was thinking of was Spike Spiegel, though.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't he play like a little tertiary character in a show we just watched? Oh, come on. We just watched a show. I want to say it was either... Was it Black Lagoon?
No, it was Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell.
He played the Laughing Man in the Ghost in the Shell.
Right. I forgot about that. He has a... He talks on a little higher register than he normally does for certain characters. But, man, I heard his voice, and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds awfully familiar.
There's just something about it that makes him instantly recognizable.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is that he's going to be there with, who's the lady who plays the Major?
Yeah, oh, fuck, I can't believe I forgot her name. Shit.
Yeah, but the lady that plays, coincidentally...
Major Motoko Kusanagi.
Yeah, in the same show.
Also from Standalone Complex.
Exactly. She's going to be there as well, supposedly. And I'm excited.
That's another big one.
Yeah, for real.
I don't feel like she gets enough credit. But god damn.
I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the last one. We don't have many conventions in, at least not ones that are big enough that I know of.
Right. The only other one I know about is our Comic-Con we have every now and then.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I've never been to that one.
That was the one I went to with Nick and Chase, where Stan fucking Lee was there.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Stop
yes.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? That happened in like 2018, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because I want to say you guys went there and I wasn't in the States.
Right.
I was in Canada, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
How unfortunate. I wish I could have gone.
It was
I wish I could have met Stan Lee, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been nice.
I didn't get to meet him, but I fucking saw him.
That's cool.
There was God knows how long line.
Oh, I can only imagine.
For signings. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool.
That man is actually a superhero.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Definitely.
Man. Well. But yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff. Dylan has 2 different coin banks, piggy bank kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
One of them
One of which I like a lot. It's a little chest.
Yes.
Zelda themed.
Yeah, with a little Triforce on it.
The other one I hate with a burning passion that I want to destroy as soon as I can.
Oh, man. What was the story about you getting that? It's like a reward chest from Overwatch, right?
Yeah, back when I was naively optimistic about Overwatch being a fun and good game.
Uh-oh. Hey, watch your words.
Shut up.
I
don't give a shit.
Uh-oh.
I'd say it's pretty unanimous now that the first Overwatch was a fucking garbo fest.
Really? Is it that unanimously hated?
I mean, from what I've seen recently, that's for damn sure.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But anyway, I picked it up because it's like, oh, cool, it's a little piece of Overwatch merch. I'll get it. And it is one of the most ineffective coin banks I have ever had.
It is like a reward
in my life,
like a loot crate.
It's one of the fucking loot boxes. Yeah,
right. It's got a little slot on top.
Right, it's got a slot.
Put some coins in.
The only way to get them out,
yes,
is through a cork in the bottom of the box,
like a regular piggy bank.
Right, but like usual.
But hear me out.
But this one sucks. This one's ass.
You know, like a regular sized cork for a piggy bank. Let's make it smaller.
Yeah.
And harder to get coins out of it.
Yeah, let's make the hole on the inside of the box curve upward.
Yeah.
So it's harder to get the fucking coins out.
Yeah. So there's a lip like where coins get stuck in.
It's awful.
It's awful.
It's the worst.
I told him, I was like, you want to talk about a missed opportunity? There's like latches on the side. I was like, how cool would it be just to lift the lid up?
Yeah.
And just take off the top?
Wouldn't it be neat if the lid of the box worked like a lid?
Yeah. What if the box worked like a freaking box?
Yeah.
Hear me out. How about this?
Wouldn't that have been nice? That's a sharp idea.
What's the big idea? Dude, well...
There was no big idea.
No.
Just stupid.
I was saying that because you have been collecting coins for, I want to say it's actually been about a year now, almost.
Maybe. I don't keep up with the time frame that I'm...
It feels like it's been...
the spare change I get throughout my day-to-day.
Right. It feels like it's been about a year since
It's been a while since I emptied that thing out again, so...
Regardless, we cracked that guy open, not literally, figuratively. We cracked the cork open and shook it around for 30 minutes. And this joker over here had a little over $300.
Right.
You want to talk about some convention money? There
a
you
decent
go.
little chunk of change, that's for damn sure.
Man, I was like, I wish I had a job where I can get change and just...
You don't want my job.
No. I don't want your job, but I want the coins that just, come with the job.
Yeah. That's all there is to it. It's
when I worked at
change and the money.
When I worked at the coffee shop, getting getting tips as like
you had split tips.
Yeah.
Like it was divided between the whole staff.
Right. Which kind of is,
Right. Good enough.
It's good enough. It was like a secondary paycheck, which was nice. I didn't hate it, but a lot of times, again, it was all dependent on like how many tips you got, at the end of the week, and then also again, how many
was feeling.
And also it was divided by how many hours each partner got. So when you worked more, you got more tips basically.
Yeah.
So, but our location was pretty good. Nice. But anyways, I miss having that extra little spare dollars.
I've heard, and I'm feeling the problem with most jobs like this being like a part of any wait staff or direct like service industry type stuff.
Right.
If you get paid in tips, it is hard to let go of that fast cash.
Oh yeah.
I've made hundreds in one day.
Yeah.
Multiple days a week.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
It's nuts.
But awesome. But
yeah,
also
it's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But it just
comes at a cost though.
Yeah. They can't.
Yeah.
Don't want to do it no more.
Anyways, I guess we should let everybody go.
Yeah.
We've been yammering on.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been fucking screaming in your ear about my shit that I don't like. But
okay.
Thanks for listening anyway.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We appreciate it. It's been
of course.
It's been a fun time. Anyways, if you guys are looking for us, you can look us up. We have a link tree /Ian Wolf, and you can find all of our links there to, listen to us on all the platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it. Just type in The Aftermath. It's there. But anyways, until next week, guys.
Yeah, start looking for this fucking movie.
Yeah, please.
As soon as possible.
It's great.
If you don't, I'll find you. See you soon.
Bitch. Bye-bye.